Each generation will face unique challenges when it comes to planning for retirement, whether dealing with student debt or putting your own kids through college. How do you navigate each stage of life and come out financially strong on the other side? Stuart Smith with ML&R Wealth Management here to give us some financial tips really for each generation. It is great to have you back with us.
Good to see you.
All right, well, let's get right to it with the first one. Those that have just graduated, maybe they're just starting out. How do individuals in their 20s get on the right foot?
Well, I think the very first place to start is be smart about debt. Be careful of credit card debt, high interest rate debt. Establish really good credit, and if you have an opportunity to enroll in a 401k plan with your employer, get started right now and increase your savings every year.
It's something important to do that a lot of people don't think about. Okay, let's say you've made it through the 20s, now you're in your 30s, maybe things have changed a bit.
Definitely, and then, you know, if you did have student loan debt from college, now's the time to make sure it's paid off. Any non-mortgage debt, whether it's credit card, student loan, get that off of your books, pay it down. Really start thinking about a long-term plan and long-term goals. What does that look like? You may have children now. Do you need life insurance? Those are things that you need to start thinking about.
Okay, you've made it to your 40s, and again, things are changing. Maybe the way you spend money, maybe the amount of money you earn has changed as well in the 40s.
Yeah, the two things to really think about in your 40s is you need to save in your employer plan, but you also need to save beyond that. So try and maximize those plans, but save more in addition. Also, be careful about saving for kids' education over saving for your retirement. You can always borrow money when they're in college, but you can't borrow money in retirement. And then think about, do you need to structure your exposure to the equity markets appropriately? Do you have enough risk on the table in order to achieve the goals that you set up in your plans that you took care of in your 30s?
You know, that's a great point. I never thought of it until you just said it just then. Save for retirement, not for kids, because you can borrow the money with the kids going to college, but it's not something you can do once you retire.
And if you oversave for education and you're behind the curve in your 60s and 70s, you're going to be in trouble and you're going to have to work a whole lot longer than you could have otherwise. You can borrow the money and take care of the kids, and maybe the two of you can pay it off over time.
That's a great point, great tip. Okay, let's say you're get into your 50s now, closer to retirement. What kind of things should you be thinking about?
So there are benefits in your 50s. You have the opportunity to start doing what's called catch-up provisions in your 401k plans. You can add additional amounts of savings. So take advantage of that. Start thinking about long-term care. What's your family history related to health? Do you need to think about long-term care? If you do, long-term care insurance is important to buy maybe before you turn 60. Start thinking about whether or not the savings that you contributed are going to get you to where you want to go. If not, you need to start bumping it up because retirement's right around the corner.
That's an important time, definitely. Okay, let's say you've gotten to the point where you're in your 60s, you're thinking about retirement. What things should you be considering when it comes
One thing that I love about being in your 60s is the ability to phase into retirement instead of going lock, stock, and barrel and just walking out the door. That way you have the ability to still earn some money, maybe working part-time or reducing your stress, but you're having cash flow coming in and you're not pulling as much from your portfolio. That's number one. Number two is also think about deferring Social Security as long as possible. If you can wait until 70, you get bigger bang for your buck over the long term if you're living beyond 80. Another thing to think about is spending. If you are starting retirement withdrawals, keep them steady. Don't start and then increase each year, because then you're going to get behind.
That's a great point. As always, I've learned a lot today. I love it when you come in because I feel like I'm a little smarter.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
When it comes to finances. Stuart, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.
Great tips.